Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here live. We're Smashing Plastic podcast. You can kind of hear some pickleball stuff in the background. I'm over at Pickleball Kingdom, so I apologize in advance. But I have my man, the myth, the legend, the one and the only, Matt Manasse. If you watch pickleball, you know anything about pickleball, you know this face. We'll let him introduce himself. He doesn't need it, but Matt, tell these people who you are.
What is going on? Thanks for having me, by the way. Yeah, Matt Manasse. I'm known as the Pickleball Coach to the Stars, one of the hosts or main hosts at Pickleball TV and Tennis Channel. So I do all the broadcasting during the slams. Someone said last night, rising sports broadcaster and media personality. So I'll take that.
Abs- Absolutely. And a really good pickleball player. I think sometimes that gets lost. Would you agree? Like people don't, me and you know, we've played
Yeah,
together. Like I know, you know what I mean? But most
yeah,
people don't know, but you really are legitimately, I mean, you're 5-0 plus player. I mean, you're a
yeah.
legitimate
Six
great
six zero plus 6-0 plus player.
6-0 plus player.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think DUPR says like 597 or something, but I haven't played on tour, so I think it's above that now. But yeah, no, I started out playing a ton and playing professionally, and then it turned into all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
it's been a good run. I still play a ton. Um, when I'm not on the road or when I am on the road as well. So it's nice to stay in shape. You got to be able to, host an event and hold the microphone, but then also
Right.
go out and play when you need to.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of put you on the spot because all you do is question some of these amazing rock stars all the time, every day. I want the people to know about you. I want them to know, like, again, me and you could talk here for 17 hours about this journey, but in summary, dude, how in the world is your life now compared to 5 years ago when it comes to the beloved world of pickleball? Right? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy journey. I think a lot of the things that I wanted to do in life um have come about the last 5 years. The people I've wanted to hang around with and meet and be exposed to, all came in my life because of this sport. I moved to LA 5 years ago now. On Marriott points in a dream is what I always tell Westboroughs. I came out here, to play a pro pickleball event. Met Doug Allen, the creator of Entourage. That was my favorite show. And then immediately it sparked like, okay, I could use this sport as a way to really, first of all, to grow the sport, but then to get into some other things, to get into commentary, to get in
Sure.
broadcasting, to event host. I didn't know how fast or slow all of those things would happen. Um, but just by, starting the program at the Riviera Country Club, going
Hmm.
on court, making sure every hour that I taught was about making sure that my students had fun, that they learned something, saying yes to every opportunity. Now I'm in a position where there are certain things I say no to, but still, for the most part, I still think of myself as in a growth state. And
Sure.
it's a lot of yeses and putting yourself in a position where you're not sure what the outcome is going to be, and trying to add value. And yeah, I've met a lot of cool people on a pickleball court. Been on a court with the president of the United States, George Bush years ago. Gotten a chance to do a lot of fun things with Drew Brees and Agassi and McEnroe and Sharapova. A lot of my childhood tennis idols, and then it's gone into obviously Emma Watson, Jamie Foxx, McConaughey, and others in terms of the entertainment piece. But yeah, it's been incredible. It's been a fun journey. The pickleball world's been great to me. All my friends are from pickleball.
Sure.
So it's been awesome.
The one thing that you do and that you know that I know from you and that hopefully our fans see is that you really do a great job of keeping everything fun, including the way that you coach, including the way that you play. Navigate
Mhm.
us through that because you see this just as much as I do. Like as a job of our coach, one of the things I feel like that is something that you and I have to work well on a lot is that the wonderful world of comparison, right? Like that thief of joy of comparison,
All right.
especially now that we all have a number associated with how we play or how we don't play or what matches we win or what matches we don't win.
Right.
Help our audience understand, dude, just how healthy the wonderful world of fun is in the beloved world of pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, when you go out on the court, whether you're teaching, playing, showing up as a fourth in a clinic or whatever it may be, whether you're playing up or down. I mean, there are a lot of things that I do you end up on court with people that are way worse than you, right? I'm
Sure,
teaching pickleball or getting people into the sport and obsessed with the sport, and that could be playing with beginners. But I think if you just enjoy the people you're around, to me, it's not a job when I'm in a group of people that I don't know, and that even if you're hired to do something, like you can be paid to do something, and I've seen people have an attitude of like, oh, when is this going to be over? You know, and it's not that I'm faking it that I want to be better than those types of folks. It's I do enjoy being on the court. I
sure,
do enjoy sweating. I do enjoy others learning something new, finding the same type of fun community that we've found through pickleball.
sure,
I always compare it when you spend an hour or 2 hours, whatever it may be, on a pickleball court with someone. It's like you had dinner with them. It's like this intimate interaction that you don't get elsewhere.
right,
And when I play tennis with someone, which I don't do very often anymore, you're so far away from each other.
right,
After that hour, you don't feel like you went to dinner. You don't feel like you became friends with that person. But there's something about pickleball that after a time playing, you're like already connected, and you have this friendship, and I think you have this commonality of fun and competition and all of that. And it's something that I do enjoy, and I think if you can inject happiness and fun and smiling and all of that into what you do, no matter how competitive it gets, I think everyone's going to benefit.
so true. I mean, at the end of the day, like that's one of the most beautiful things about our sport is that you can spend an hour and you feel like you kind of know somebody, whether they're
Yep.
black, they're white, they're green,
Yep.
they're old, they're young, they're,
Yeah.
believers, they're not, like, it doesn't matter. Like when it
Yeah.
comes to the
Of course.
pickleball court, like it truly is a great connector. I will use that word, right? It's a great connector
For
so that
sure.
you can learn about their integrity on just their line calls or
Yeah.
keeping up with the score, like simple things like that. But like if I'm going to do a business deal with somebody, I want to know that I can trust this dude. If I play
For sure.
pickleball with you for an hour, I know without a shadow of a doubt, hey, this is a guy that I trust with my books, or this is a guy that I don't trust with my books. I know that sounds silly, but it's a big deal. Like it's so cool to be able to have
And it's
something.
and for sure. And it's cool to see how people's personalities can switch during and after play, which is also okay. You can see people get upset and annoyed and
Yep.
competitive, and then you can see how fast they can adjust when the point's off and when the game's over. And oh man, that was so much fun. I have students that during the competition, you're like, are they even enjoying this? They look so stressed out. And then afterwards, they're like, that was so much fun, man. That was such a great game. We had a blast. So it definitely reveals character. It teaches you how to read certain folks. Um, it's really such a social, community driven sport, as we all know.
Right.
Um, I was just in Colorado on a pretty incredible hunting trip that I've never been hunting. Got invited because through a pickleball connection. And it was kind of one of those trips that I don't know, you dream of or you see in a movie.
Sure.
And we ended up, this student of mine has a pickleball and tennis court there at his ranch, and we ended up playing pickleball at the end. And some of the older guys that I didn't really get a chance to chat with that much during the trip, once we played pickleball, like I felt like we all got way
Yeah.
closer than even the hunting piece and the dinner piece. And then it made all those other interactions even more enjoyable because you felt like you really bonded and you went through something together. Um, so yeah, I always encourage people to just try the sport and get out there. It doesn't matter the level. I obviously want people to learn from someone good and make sure they're starting off in a good way. But yeah, it's been great.
With that being said, it's a great way to segment because a lot of folks don't know, but you are legitimately a coach, like you're a coach, and which I love. And that's why when you and I connect so much on this stuff is walk me through how important it is, like you just said, to where when you do get introduced to this sport or you're truly looking at you want to learn how to play this, what is your feelings
Yeah,
and how important it is to get with a coach right up front instead of trying to wing through this thing? You know what I mean? Until you're like, okay, now I've got to get a coach.
yeah. I mean, I think day one, I just want someone to enjoy being out there.
Sure.
I want them to learn the essential rules, the kitchen rules, the two
Right.
bounce rule, maybe some scoring. but I want them to enjoy hitting the ball, getting rallies back and forth, all of that stuff. I would say pretty early on after that, though, and even, pie in the sky, even that first day, I would like the right grips to be taught.
Right.
Not I'm not a stickler of like, oh, your finger needs to be exactly here, like, but
Right.
90% in a good spot where you're, shaking hands with the paddle. I want you to know kind of the mechanics of. I like to teach, especially people that don't come from a tennis background. I think it's really important that they understand how topspin is created, how what brushing the ball means, what a forehand and backhand looks like, some of the differences of like your balance point on a volley in tennis versus a roll at the kitchen line. So I like to explain a lot of those different things because I think they're important. I think if you go out and just teach the pickleball nuance, which is still very important, all of the dinking and the tip down on the paddle and the shoulders, the hinge, all of it is important. But I do think a lot of people that don't come from tennis are missing fundamentals that I think a lot of pickleball pros neglect and don't go into, and quite frankly, you need it. Um,
Yes.
and you need the footwork patterns and you need all of it, and that teaching is going to take some time. But I think if you have a coach that cares, I think that's very important early on. And I think you'll see progress. You'll get better. You'll get around better people. The game will open up to you. You'll be invited on hunting trips and all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like, and I don't know what you think on this, but one of the things that I hear a lot now that I didn't hear a few years ago when I was coaching is how, and I'm sure you know, how clicky pickleball is becoming, or how it's becoming now. It's, certain groups play with this group and that
Yeah.
group. Between you and I and the road and everybody else that's listening that actually plays in these groups, you know what it is, and it comes down to one word. It's the skill, right? It's the skill
Yeah,
level that is allowing you to get in or get not, into these
for sure.
groups, which is why I'm so, like you, a proponent of, at first, when you start getting into this beloved sport, if you really do want to progress and get to the point to where you're invited to not just the specialty group, but in groups that
Right.
are going to play, you need to learn how to play. And it's
For
not a,
sure.
it's not a, it's not a game that takes an extremely a long time, like baseball or golf or basketball, where you have to have these amazing skill sets. Like, you can really learn how to fundamentally hang with just about
Yeah.
anybody at some point, where it's at least fun for the person that you're playing with. And I feel like if people can hear me on this podcast when I say this, is it's not a matter of it creating clickiness. It's a matter of the
Right.
skill sets to where people want to enjoy rallies. They want to enjoy
For sure.
scoring. They want to know that they're getting better. You agree to that? I mean, that's what I'm seeing now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how clicky or not it's become. I mean, I think I'm in a unique bubble and situation where it doesn't matter what game I get invited to or I can
Absolutely.
step in, right? So that's it's a lucky position. I do hear that from other folks. Yes, pickleball can be clicky. I think anything can be clicky. I think
Sure.
at your gated communities in South
Hmm.
Florida, I think the dinner crowd and the card games on a Thursday can be clicky. People want to be around people they like and
Right.
enjoy and can smile and laugh with. People want to be around the others that can push them when it's a competitive sport or a competitive game of some sort. So yeah, I think it's important that people understand how to play. There's a guy here that I may do business with, and he's a very good fundamental tennis player, right?
Okay.
Has all the racket skills needed, can rip the ball, but you get
Sure.
on a pickleball court and I've heard this from millions of people. I just love to rip the ball. Love to rip the ball. Don't want to dink. And it's like you've been playing this sport for months and now or longer and you still just like don't see the value in playing the right way. Like it bothers me because it's like you're losing easily to people you shouldn't. It's not fun as a partner to play with you when someone's playing the
Right.
wrong way.
Right.
Um, so that piece is very interesting to me when some folks want to come over and just like rip, 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 when clearly that's not the way to play. So the mindset switch is very important. And if you want to get invited to games everywhere, I think you should be playing the right way and learn the right way and surround yourself with folks that want to see you grow on the pickleball court. And I believe it becomes a more physical game. So for those that are coming from tennis that say, "Oh, I want to rip because it's just more physical," well, your points are ending quickly, win or lose. The real physical battle comes when you can dink and change pace, and the court opens up a lot more, and the movement's huge. Just watch Hayden Patrick.
Sure, sure. And that's the next segment is I would love because you're in a unique space where you literally get to watch the best players in the world on a day-to-day basis. How good are these guys and gals? Tell these people on this podcast, Martha in Minnesota driving right now that has the vision of going professional, you know what I mean, in a
Yeah,
month from
yeah.
learning pickleball. Tell these people how good these people are.
Yeah, it's sickening, to be honest, how good the level's gotten on tour. I see a lot of people even in LA that, "Oh, I'm gonna be on the pro tour soon." It's not easy. The Hayden Patrickwins of the world, Anna Lee Waters, Anna Bright, Ben Johns. I mean, the level is so high, and it's not just hand speed. It is more so even foot speed and footwork patterns. If you watch Hayden Patrick how he can take over 75-80% of the court with Federico Staxrud, the shiftiness, the ability to find the contact point over and over again in the same spot, so he's able to replicate a shot, especially that two-handed backhand
It's
dink
yeah, it's
roll,
ridiculous.
right? That's not just like, oh, a hand thing, right? Like oh, he's just so skilled with working with the two hands, and he's finding the exact same contact point, and that's a footwork thing. And the
Sure.
ability to adjust and then do it for long periods of time. I mean, some of these 3 out of 5 game matches on Championship Sunday, the long days throughout, when he's playing a mixed and a doubles in the same day, you're out on the court for 3.5, 4 hours maybe in one day. Um, so the ability to do it over a long period of time, the hand speed, the decision making, the scouting of the opponents, knowing what they can and can't do, what
Right.
strengths match to their weaknesses. These guys are very good. It is taking a lot of practice, a lot of video work, a lot of time in the gym. So it looks easy on TV. I know, but it's definitely not.
Yeah, and the guy that you're talking about, just to kind of give attaboys to this, when Hayden's playing with Frederic Straxrud, that dude's the number one singles guy on tour, and he's
Yeah,
taking 15% of the court. He can cover, he's a gazelle. Like he literally
yeah,
can cover from LA to Charleston, you know what I mean, on a
yeah,
pickleball court, and he's only getting 10 or 15% of that court. And Hayden, who's 5 foot something, 125 pounds soaking wet, but he is just an animal on the left side
yeah.
now. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been that good on the left side. I just think it took some losses for them to make that change, and he's just way more dynamic. He can make way more offensive decisions from that side. And then Staxrud, they always say that his he has the highest floor of anybody, or the whatever, like he's
Right,
always gonna, you know what he is gonna come out with on his worst day, and it's gonna be very high. And to have
right,
someone like that on the right side who's just a rock solid dude, you know what to expect. And then Hayden can
right.
dazzle
So
you with
now
the
I'm gonna
brilliance, excuse me.
so now I'm gonna turn my hat and spin it around and get you into something a little bit uncomfortable, but it bothers me and I need some help with it. The girls. Tell me how good the girls are, and more importantly, how do we get more of them? Because I don't know about you, but like one of the things that I see and that we struggle with, even here in Charleston, when we want to do team events or anything, it's the
Mhm,
female picklers, right? Like where are they? Are they coming? What are you seeing on your side? Because the ladies that you're around are amazing, right? Like the Anna Brights
mhm.
and the Anna Lee Waters, all those ladies, they're amazing, but we need more of them. So where do you see
Yeah.
in like on the junior ranks? Is there any names or anybody that's you got your eye on, or are you seeing a trend where we get more females into this sport?
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, I see more and more females coming in. Obviously, on the junior side, I'd imagine the boys' draws are more packed than the girls, but it's
Sure.
definitely coming. I've seen, forget the girl. There's a girl out here in LA. I forget her name. She's like 12 years old. She's incredible. I think the Anna Lee Waters effect is going to happen. You're going to have a lot
Right.
more girls coming into the sport. I do see a much deeper field already. In the last few years. Um, It's just gonna take some time. The girls, to your first point, are very, very good.
Yeah.
It's a different uh strategy in some cases because of just the strength and the size,
Hmm.
right? So there,
Sure.
if you're looking at doubles, um the points are longer just because their power and the angle of when they're attacking, they're not putting the balls away quite like the guys are. That's just
Right.
the way it is. A James Ignatowicz, down at you ball from that angle, the point's usually over.
Right.
Whereas some of these girls are backing off the line. They're getting most of their power from two hands and big swings, where guys can get the same, if not more, power from a one.
Sure.
Because of that too, they're having to take a bigger swing to get that power, which means they need more time, which is they're off the line. They're already shorter. The angle, it's not coming down the same. So, because of that, you get a lot more exciting points. You see
Right.
the defensive display, the ability to reset, the incredible footwork, the dinking, the back and forth hands battles. I mean, the women's doubles in pickleball.
Oh,
If you want,
it's insane.
it's just as fun, if not more, than any other discipline we have. And if you, not that you need to compare it to other women's sports to men's sports, but the women's to men's in pickleball is 1 to 1, right? It's just as
All day.
exciting, and I don't
Yeah.
know if you can say that in basketball or tennis or whatever you want to say. People can hate me for that comment, but yeah, they're incredible. I think it's just natural. You need to see more and more money coming to the sport. Right now, obviously, tennis, golf are probably your biggest money makers for
Sure.
women's sports overall. I'm sure basketball is coming in with some new deals there that's going to entice women to go in that direction. But the more money coming into the sport, more parents are going to put their daughters in there. I think it's a safe sport. I think it's a social community driven sport,
Right.
and you still can learn a lot from it. So I think that's coming, and I think the Annalie effect will rear its head pretty soon, and you'll see a lot of really good young talent coming in as opposed to just some of the retired tennis players coming in.
Tip us through the junior aspect because you're blessed to where the events that you do with PPA actually have junior events there too. Are you excited with what you're seeing in your juniors, and what's your take on how the sport in the junior world is growing? You see it going high school, you see it going college. Like, walk me through the your juniors.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the junior, it's funny because there's two ways to answer that. You have like the actual junior PPA tour that's
Right.
incredible, but then you have some like 14 and 16-year-old players that could easily play on the juniors that are playing pro. Like that kid Tama is crazy, and his partner he
Crazy.
had, I think they almost beat Onsens and Wright that one event. Um, the junior level is where it's all coming, right? And I think the writing is on the wall and people see that, right? Like the Hayden Patrickman is just like the tip of the iceberg, right?
Right.
There's more like that coming. And in the next few years, these veteran players on tour, it's going to be hard to keep up because these kids aren't having to unlearn tennis skills. They're coming straight from pickle. They're learning the skills that you would need in tennis that would translate. They're learning that because they have to, and then they already have all this like deception and weird strokes and like this flick that they're comfortable with, and the crazy reach and the footwork patterns that work and the discipline, and they understand all of it. And I like to kind of compare it to when I was a 12-year-old kid, or tens and twelves. You're competing on all day long training in like a real way, right? Like you're the proper drills that the coaches are wanting you to do.
Sure.
You're hitting all your cross courts. You're grinding. But then as a 12-year-old kid at night, what do you do on a tennis court? You go play mini tennis, right? And then you're trying all these fun shots, and like that's your way of enjoying the sport, is like creating new and these kids at 12 on a pickleball court, when they're done with their drill sessions, they're going out and trying all this and they have all the time in the world. It's their time where they're trying to grow in this sport, and they haven't even, if you're talking about guys, they're not even looking at girls yet, right? They are loving the sport and are
Right.
dedicated to that. They want to be pros. They look at Ben Johns, they look at Hayden Patrick, and they're like, That's who we look up to, but we're going to create our own way of doing it." So, um, the sport is evolving. It continues to. I think, if you would talk to a Ben Johns, yes, he's going to try to stay as good as he can for as long as he can, but he knows there's another wave coming.
You are so right, and it's fun for me and you as coaches, especially in what I'm watching now. Like I played yesterday with a 16-year-old kid that talked trash to me the entire time, the entire
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's just it's a blast. You know what I mean? For what as a coach to kind of see what that's on the because again, I'm like you. We don't even have technically like travel pickleball yet. All that's it's all coming.
right.
Like
Yeah,
it's all coming.
yeah,
So if you're literally not on the board of that, you're gonna get left behind because it's
yeah.
here. It is officially here. All right, I've got a few more minutes of you because you're a busy dude. You got to tell me what's coming up on 2026. Make everybody wet their whistle, Mateo. What do we got coming up? Because I know there's a lot. Dear God, there's probably movies. There's all of the above. Tell us what we got coming up with Mateo that we can follow around.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pickleball TV is going to continue to grow.
Okay,
First of all, very, very grateful that I'm a major part of that platform. I just had a Forbes article that kind of spoke about season one of the celebrity show that we're doing. I think season two is going to be bigger, better, different version,
okay,
more dynamic show, less stuck in one spot, and more getting into the community. So I
love
think
it.
that's exciting. I'm building my YouTube with the challenge portion as well. One episode's already up where I did an in and out challenge. You can see that on my YouTube. Podcast will be coming out in next year. Um, I have a deal that's not announced, but with a major alcohol brand, we're going to be doing full events next year: pickle, paddle, tennis, golf. That I'm very excited about. I'm going to be hosting a celebrity thing at the PGA show in January. We're going to do another Mookie Betts Foundation event mid-year next year. I'm going to be part of the Pickleball Slam with Agassi, Anna Lee Waters, James Blake, and Jeannie Bouchard. So a lot of fun stuff. I'm sure there'll be way more added to that. But
Sure.
I start the year and just like everybody else out in the desert with the PPA tour. We'll have a desk out there, and we'll start strong at the Masters, all white. I don't have
Yep.
an all white suit yet. Maybe
It's
that's
coming.
something that
It's
maybe I need to
coming.
get that.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
but look, pickleball continues to grow. There's so many opportunities that it seems week by week come. I would like to go to Asia in 2026. That's a goal of mine, is to make it over
Okay.
there for some type of pickleball event. Um, and my hope is that that happens. But look, I think we saw the year end in Worlds, or I know there's two more events, but Dallas, that was the biggest Worlds I've seen. I think you saw a lot of, first of all, you saw celebrities playing in it that no one even knew were going to show up.
Right.
Hunter Pence and James Valentine showed up, and Eric Decker played, and Tifu was playing. I mean, it was a fun event. To you had Agassi show up on the desk, so and the crowds were awesome, and I think the level was the highest we've seen it. It just felt like the sport continues to grow. I mean, that's our third year in Dallas at Worlds, and it's already big.
It's super exciting, man, and the sport, man, in the last couple of years is just insane. And I'm like you, we just kind of scratched the surface of where we're going to be at. So again, humongous kudos to you. I cannot thank you enough for all that you're doing, especially for coming on Smash. Let us know, of course, keep us in the loop. Obviously, we have to get you back, a year from now and see where you're at and follow up with you and keep everybody in the loop. I know that Charleston's small time compared to Los Angeles and all that you got going on, but we love you and you're here. Don't pretend that you don't miss Charleston. We know that you
I
love
know.
some
I
Charleston.
love Charleston. I got to get back to Crush Yard. I gotta see the OG facility, and I do love Charleston. I love IOP. I love all that stuff. There's so
Absolutely.
much going on. It's a fun town. Thing is, I'm trying to get in shape right now, and I'm down 10 pounds. I'm not drinking. And Charleston is not the place to do all that.
No,
There's
no.
too many distractions and too much fun there.
You're absolutely right. Dude, we love you long time. Now, before you go, let's go with you're in LA. Let's get on Louise from LA. Give us one coach's tip from the one and only Coach Matt. What do you got for her to make her a better player?
What does she need?
Let's go with let's take what you and I deal with mostly, which is probably going to be 4 O's and under. What is something that you see all the time that you literally just cannot harp enough about to Louise that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I think contact points need to be out in front. Do
Okay.
not let the ball get behind you. Obviously, there's ways to combat that when that happens, but that's a little bit more down the road. Uh, and sure, use the wrist ahead of the shot. Don't use it during, right? Let's have square paddle faces. Wherever that paddle face is going, that's where the ball is going to go. And just keep that paddle face out in front. Less is more
Mm.
in pickleball. And watch those around you and just copy. Watch the best. Watch more pro pickleball. Try to copy what they're doing. Actually watch. Don't just make it like what Ben Johns does looks different than what he's actually doing. It's more simple than you think. Just put the paddle out in front of the ball, push through it, shoulders the hinge, and you're going to be all right.
Dude, that is so good, man. You heard it, the one, the only, Coach Matt. I appreciate you big time. We'll see you again, and looking forward to 2026 with you, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for
See you,
having
buddy.
me.
Bye. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. Thanks for tuning in to Smashing Plastic. Big shout out to Sean Monahan for the music, production, and editing. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for more awesome content, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Those links are in the description. Now let's get out there and smash some plastic.